Well, he did. He played great. You know, the Pac-12 Player of the Week, and much hard-earned and deserved. He did it on the road in 2 pivotal games for us, especially against Washington. The timeliness of his big plays, his rebounding, just his sheer numbers are really awesome. And Ryan has been, the word I would use, consistent. When we talked a lot about our team in October before we had ever played one game, I really made a lot about how he had won the gold jersey as each week's practice player, best practice player of each week. And I think he had won it 6 consecutive weeks, which nobody in our program has done that over the last, 6.5 seasons, whatever it was at the time. And there's been some terrific players who've had the same opportunity as him. His dominance started early on. His leadership started over the summer. And he's been really, really consistent. I mean, you look at our schedule, I guess we've played in 24 games. He may have 1 or 2 subpar performances. And even somebody like a Derek Williams, who was, first-team All-American, Nick Johnson, each of those guys, they're not going to be perfect every game. Great players, All-Americans, are going to have those games where they're not up to their standards. But Ryan, from a consistency perspective, it's amazing how every game, numbers-wise, he's been outstanding. And a big reason why our record is 19-5, and I think why we have some optimism here in the month of February, where we hope to garner some big wins and play our best basketball, continue to emerge as a team. With him at the forefront, playing at the level that he's played at, him as a leader, I think gives us a lot of confidence in him too. Well, his offensive rebounding, he had 8 against Washington, and, from an athletic perspective, talent, if you were at the game, the crowd was at a fever pitch. It was an emotional game, a tremendous game for our conference. I think in particular, the fact that it was on national TV. But that's what I mean about the timeliness of his plays, his big offensive rebound, and then the fact he goes to the foul line and makes both free throws. And just really from that 40 minutes, just a very, very efficient is how I would describe his play against Washington. We have a bench press test here. We do it every fall right before the beginning of our first practice. All 7 teams that we've had do the same test, and that's how many times you can push 185 pounds. That's what the NBA Combine does. We don't necessarily train for it. It's not as if they bench press every week so that they can get the most reps, as much as, through our strength and conditioning program regimen that they do through the spring, summer, and fall. This is kind of the end result of where they are physically. And, he tested out #1 of all time. So, I know there's more to it than just that, but the bench press doesn't favor somebody 6'8". It favors a squatty lineman, a smaller person. In Ryan's case, at his height, his weight, his body fat, the fact that he can bench press that, I think he did it over maybe 23 times, 25 times. Matt would have the exact amount. But I think that shows a couple of things. One, how hard he's worked at it. But number 2, his sheer strength. And he's changed his body. If you've watched Ryan play at Boston College and followed him as a youth in high school, he was big, but he was more bulky. I think his body fat is at 6%. His weight is at a great place. All of that's really allowed him to be more explosive, have better endurance, a better second jump, finishing through contact. And what it does is it gives you a lot of confidence, because nobody knows more than Ryan how strong he feels and how hard he's worked at it to be the player that he is today. And, and here's the thing, he has to really continue to do it down the stretch here like he did this weekend.
Try this matchup. Low prices and faster checkout. You can count on it at Fry's.